Hello and welcome back to Apollo Explore. Today we'll be looking at Zorin OS 17. Now Zorin OS 17, it's an Ubuntu based distro and it's meant to be a beginner friendly distro, and it, it's basically designed for beginners, and it has a very good looking user interface as you can see down here. I mean, it looks very neat even the website, and it incorporates many features from Windows and Mac, and you can choose any theme that you want, and Windows users will basically feel at home, and this makes it a very good distro choice for Windows users. The distro also comes with very less bloat and very less pre-installed applications, the only major ones being LibreOffice and Firefox, which are basically essential for any Linux distribution. You do also get a lot of customization options, like you can choose the Mac OS based theme, or you can choose a Windows 11 theme, or you can choose a uh, Windows 10 theme or Windows 7 theme. That's up to you. That's completely up to you. And basically get a lot of choice with Zorin OS that unlike other distributions don't give you. Now let's take a deep dive into the OS. Now Zorin OS comes in three flavors: Zorin Pro, Core, and Education Edition. Now the Pro version costs money and it costs around 2,999 INR or 39 USD, and it comes with standard desktop layouts like the Mac OS one, Windows 11, Chrome OS, and a GNOME tiling manager and other layouts. And you do also get a professional grade creative suite like GIMP and other stuff, and you get additional productivity tools with it, and you also get to support the development of Zorin OS. And the basic version, the free version of Zorin OS, is it's free to use and it's called Zorin OS Core, and it does not have any additional software pre-installed with for you, nor it has any additional desktop layouts for you like Windows, Mac OS or Windows 11. It only comes with four free layouts, and they are not there is just like GNOME and Windows. You do also get a educational version, which is basically for schools with educational software. Actually, there used to be a version called Zorin OS Lite, and it was basically for low-end PCs which cannot run Zorin OS core properly. It basically it's a trimmed down version of Zorin OS with less UI features and stuff, but it got discontinued right now, so it's no longer a thing right now. Okay, so I want to spend more time and explain about Zorin OS Pro and what it actually offers. So basically, here you get you can get it for 2,999 rupees or 39 USD, and you basically get around six premium desktop layouts like Mac OS, Windows Classic Like, Windows 11, Chrome OS, GNOME 2, and Ubuntu Light. Along with those, you get standard desktop layouts, which are already available in Zorin OS Core. And basically, if you're looking for more customizability without much of a hassle, you can basically make your Linux desktop look like macOS without much difficulty. And if you want something like that, Zorin OS Pro is for you. Along with that, you'll be getting additional Creative Suite professional software, and I'll be showing you what you actually get with it. So you'll be getting Barrier, Blender, Inkscape, LibreCAD, FreeCAD, Audacity, OBS, VLC, and other stuff, which is basically free to you. It's actually a free and open source software, and I really don't see a reason why you should get Zorin OS Pro just for this free software, because you can just get this core version and just install this software for free. But the only reason why I would suggest this Zorin Pro is that if you want additional desktop layouts, or if you want to support the development of Zorin OS. But again, you can basically get the premium desktop layouts as well for free. There are tweaks for it and workarounds for it, and that's it about the Zorin Pro. Now let's speak about the UI of the Zorin OS. So Zorin OS is based on GNOME, and it uses GNOME as desktop environment, and you get basically Windows 7 design language with this, with the core version. And you can see it's almost pretty much like Windows 7, and the UI is very neat, the icons are very neat, and how good this looks, just look at it. This is the design language of Zorin OS, and this is something that we usually do not see in Linux. I mean, this neat, nobody actually, I haven't seen any good distro like this, and this what makes Zorin OS a good option for me. Now, speaking of customizability, Zorin OS comes with a lot of customizability options. Now, to access these options, just need to go to System Tools, and you need to go down to Zorin Appearance and basically click it. And here you'll be getting 4 basic desktop layouts included with Zorin OS Core. And if you need more desktop layouts like Mac OS 1, Windows 11, or Chrome OS 1, you basically need to upgrade to Zorin OS Pro, which obviously costs money. And the free ones, basically the basic and the default Windows based layout, and then you also get another Windows based layout, and then the touch based layout and the GNOME based layout. I like the default Windows layout, so I'll be choosing that. And coming to the themes, you get option to enable dark mode, and which I'll be enabling right now. And if you notice something, it also changes the background of the desktop as well. So basically, you can basically have another option where you can change the background of the desktop and even the dark mode based on your local timings. And basically it's around 12 p.m. right now, and when it goes to around 8 p.m. The background will go dark, and so will the theme. And you also basically have the option to choose the accent color. By default it's blue. You can choose green, orange, yellow, or whatever you want. It's basically highly customizable. And you can also change the application icons themes. That's up to you. And coming to effects, you also have the jelly mode, which is basically the effect that you can see on Mac OS when you minimize some application. Let me actually enable that and show that to you. You can see it basically does the Mac OS thing. See, that's the jelly mode. And you also have the option for desktop cube. Basically, let me show how it works. And when you go for task view, you can just switch between the two desktops. But when you enable this desktop cube, it basically turns into a cube. Now look how this works. So it basically turns into a 3D image, and you can just change the desktop as you wish. But I'll have it disabled. Now you do also get additional interface settings as well as desktop. You can basically customize the taskbar as you wish. That's up to you. You can also change the fonts. Now, speaking of software support, you get some pre-installed software with this. You'll be getting LibreOffice Suite, and for the internet, you'll be getting a Firefox browser, and you'll be also getting uh, Windows. Basically, you get Wine as well. So the software support, I mean, the pre-installed software, it's pretty much limited in the core version, as they mentioned. You get additional software in the pro version. However, if you want to install additional software, you can always choose the software manager or the software store. You get a lot of software options here. You can basically install anything that's available on Linux. You get multiple sections. You have a section for games, you have a section for development, you have a section for learning, you have a section for work, you have a section for creativity, or even for internet chatting or something. You basically get a lot of options to install, and you can also use a terminal and you install it through apt. But that's up to you. Okay, if you want it to be more user friendly, or if you want it to be more user like Windows experience, you can basically use the software manager, and it contains almost everything. Now, speaking about the software support and the packages, you basically get software updates until 2027 for Zorin OS 17, and it's based on Ubuntu 22.04 LTS. And the supported app formats are APT, Flatpak, Snap, AppImage, EXE, and deb files. And by default, you basically have the support for APT, Ubuntu packages, FlatHub, and Snapstore. So Zorin OS completely gives you the freedom for choosing your own package manager and so default software repositories. You can choose FlatHub if you want, or if you can choose Snap, or you can choose APT. But I really don't see any reasons why any sane person would use Snap because of the slow and sluggishness in nature. Unlike Ubuntu, Zorin OS does not force Snap packages. You completely have the choice. It's up to you. Speaking of games, you get a lot of additional support from the community to run games. Actually, it was a few years ago you could only run games from Steam, but now community has brought many projects into the Linux environment, and you basically get more options to run your games. So starting with Proton, you basically get by default on Steam you can only run titles which only work on Linux, but with the Proton compatibility layer, you can basically run almost any Steam game that does not have any anti-cheat system. And you also have Lutris if you want to install additional games from your libraries from Epic Games, GOG, or Battle.net. You also have Heroic Games Launcher if you want to install games from Epic Games. So basically, the community has got you covered if you want to try anything. And but still, Linux suffers in the gaming section when it comes to multiplayer games which have anti-cheat because anti-cheat only works on Windows. So that's the problem. You will have a lot of issues with multiplayer games. You are coming to Linux. If multiplayer is something that you want to play exclusively, Linux may not be for you. Now, speaking of Windows App Support, which is very important if you're coming from Windows, and Zorin OS basically installs Wine by default, so you do not have to install anything else. And with Wine, you can basically install any Windows app on Linux, but the compatibility is not always guaranteed. You can basically run stuff like Photoshop, or any other Adobe software or Microsoft Office or anything you want on Linux using Wine. The Wine support is pretty good on Linux right now, and it used to be very bare bones back in the day when it was first out, but now it got a lot better right now. But still, not everything is supported. It still has issues with Wine, and that's something that may not go away anytime soon. Now, I would like to conclude this video by saying that Zorin OS is very good choice for if you are coming from Windows or if you are just new to Linux. Zorin OS has everything ready for you to get started and will make you feel like home. It is Linux under the hood, but it provides a Windows-like experience out of the box, and it has everything ready for you right from the start. And you can basically install it and just start using it. You also have additional tools and support if you want to run anything else from Windows, and you basically get a lot of software support from the software manager. You can install any additional new software, or you can use another. You can use Wine and get some more additional Windows software to your games, or you can use Proton, Steam, Heroic Launcher, or Lutris to get more games. So Linux has anything for you, and Zorin OS makes it even better. It has a really good user interface, and it really they really focused a lot on the user interface and making it feel more like home for Windows users. So I highly recommend it if you're coming from Windows, and you'll definitely feel like at home.